So what is going on, my fellow navigators? Welcome to the navigation station. So good to have all of you here on this early Halloween episode. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. So good to have you all in this live chat. First off, let's just go ahead and say hi to everybody coming through in the live chat. Obviously, we got my boy Collecting with Jules joining us tonight. What is going on, Jules? We got Jay Ketchum All. We got Mr. Beard, Andres Mia, Jeremy Gray, and we got Tongan Wilson, Reagan Markowski. How is everybody doing tonight? So good to have all of you here. Hopefully this has been a good week for you all in this All Hallows Eve week. And that's all going to culminate tomorrow in Halloween, of course. And I am so thankful to have all of you here tonight. And how's everybody doing? Go ahead and give me a thumbs up in the live chat if you are excited to be here. You're excited for Halloween. You're excited for this evening to be hosted by none other than Ash Ketchum. Yeah, that's right. I brought out my finest costume attire for tonight. It's been a couple years since I brought it out, and I figured this would be the best point to do it. It still fits pretty good from a couple years ago, so I guess that's a good sign for myself. You know, keeping in shape. Staying fit. You got to make sure that I can always rock my Ash Ketchum costume. But guys, it is so good to have all of you here. And as you know, each week we've got a topic for discussion. And with everything that's been going on in the hobby right now, I thought a great topic for discussion for this week is how you guys can prevent getting scammed on Pokemon card products. This has really been a huge issue forever, you know, not just in Pokemon collectibles, really any kind of trade. There's always going to be fake products out there. But I thought for tonight, we would just go ahead, start things off. As you know, that $375,000 booster box that was supposed to be sold last week turned out to be fake. So if you guys want, go ahead and ask me any questions that you like in regards to that, maybe my opinion on that particular transaction. I've got many opinions on that, but probably more specifically to the actual booster box itself. And then on top of that, guys, any other questions that you have in regards to fake products in general, I'll do my best to go ahead and answer those for you here tonight. That way you guys can feel more comfortable as you move forward in your Pokemon card purchases, and ultimately that'll allow you guys to enjoy the hobby even more. So let's see what we got coming through in the live chat. Hollow Bleed, what is going on? Stephen Bemin, Angelo, Badhaven 22, thank you. Had to rock the costume tonight. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Let's see what else we got. Mike, what's going on, my man? Everybody getting those thumbs up. We got those fire emojis as well. You guys seem to be liking the costume. I tried to decorate it a little bit in here for you as well. Kind of make it a little more spooky, I guess. Let's be honest, I didn't decorate. My wife decorated, okay? My wife went ahead and decorated. I have no aesthetic eye whatsoever. My boy Jules can tell you that. I have no aesthetic eye. I'm the value guy. I provide the value, or at least try to. The aesthetics part of it, yeah, that's a work in progress. So let's see what we got for questions here. People liking the Halloween decor. You going to the party in Vegas? No, I haven't been to Vegas in quite some time. Don't really have any intention of going back. It's not that far from here either. It's only about a 5-hour drive from the Phoenix area, but I don't really have any intentions of going back. Yeah, why Jonathan saying that was a tough video to watch. I felt so bad for Dumb Money. Collectibles Guru seems like a good guy, but he got scammed bad. Yeah, you know, everybody's got their opinion on, you know, exactly, you know, what they think about this Collectibles Guru. I personally had no idea about him prior to this actual transaction. So I really didn't know anything until I actually watched the video and was like, well, who is this guy? It all, honestly, and I'll just give you my opinion up front, it all seemed very strange. Just the way that it all went down. You know, they're all sitting in a living room with these pocket sliding doors open, and you can tell that they're all freezing, which I don't know why they just didn't close the doors. And then there's a security guard standing off to the side, which I didn't really understand that as well. I mean, if you trust everybody in the room, I don't know the need of the security guard, but hey, more power to them. And then the three guys come in. They've got what looks like a Victoria's Secret bag that they're carrying this $375,000 product in. Just all really seemed strange to me. And this is not to put on blast anybody. I think that this Chris Camille guy, I think he's really doing it for a good purpose. I did a little research on him, some of his past, and he does do a lot of work with different charities. So I think that's fantastic, and the fact that, they're going to be having the proceeds of the sales going to charities. I think that's fantastic. But yeah, just the whole scenario itself seemed pretty strange to me. And I don't know, it just didn't seem like it was Pokemon cards. It felt like we were dealing in some kind of illegal trade, to be honest with you. So just really strange. And then I don't know if you guys saw the follow-up video. And this is the other thing I thought was strange, which I have to follow up on, is when they realized that the box was fake, when the packs inside were fake and that there were modern cards in there, he immediately got on the phone with the supposed seller and said, it's fake, and told everybody this is no problem. I've got another box that he promised me. And then in the follow-up video, they're in a different state, and they're purchasing it from they're purchasing this new booster box from a different seller. And even more strange is at the beginning of that video, one of the guys that was with him said, "Oh, we're in a Baltimore, Maryland, picking up the box." Later on, this guru guy said, "We're not going to disclose where we are because we want to keep the identity and location confidential." So I don't know, just all in all, this is just seemed like a really strange trip. And hopefully, in the end, hopefully it all works out. Hopefully this new box that they got is legit. It looks like it is from that second video. I know they went live again today with the actual purchase just to make sure that everything was legit. And it seems like it was. Seems like it was a legit box, a beautiful box at that. The fact that this was sitting in a closet for 20 years, had that price tag on the box itself, which is something you don't see very often. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, hopefully it all works out. In the end, we all just want to see another first edition base set booster box opened, see those beautiful cards. You're essentially opening up a time capsule when you open one of those. And for us, we all get to take that nostalgic trip down memory lane whenever we see those cards, those packs, those booster boxes opened. And the fact that it's going to charity, like I said, I think is fantastic. So hopefully it all works out in the end. But that's just kind of my take on the whole situation. And that's all I have to say about that. And it's probably best that that's all I have to say. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Let's see if we got any questions for this topic of the day. What did you think of the YouTubers involved? I know the first video they had Leonhardt there, and then the second video I saw that PokéRev was in there. And I think essentially what they're trying to do is, you got to think from their perspective, guys. Like these are people that maybe have a small inkling of Pokemon and the Pokemon community. So they're just trying to find anybody that has a little bit of notoriety that can help them out. It's not like there's necessarily quote unquote experts out there, even though some may claim to be experts. There's not somebody that you can go to. Like I told you guys before, I used to be a financial advisor. You have to go through a lot of training. You have to take a lot of tests to be able to attain that certification. There's no such thing in Pokemon. There's no certification that you're a a investor or a certified Pokemon investor or certified collector. So they're just trying to find people that have some knowledge in this area. Personally, I think that they really should have assembled a team to help them out, which I guess they kind of did, but the team that they essentially assembled were a bunch of crypto guys. They weren't necessarily, they haven't been in the hobby for a long time. I mean, I can think of a lot of people, Gary, King Pokemon, SM Pratt, there's a lot of people that have been in this hobby a long, long time. And, so I kind of get it. They're just trying to find people that have some knowledge in Pokemon. And coming from the outside world, it can seem like a very, very niche topic. So, I think that the YouTubers that were in there, the ones that you saw, they're just trying to lend a hand. They're just trying to help out and try to provide some of their insight of what they've experienced in the past. So, that's all you can really do. That's all you can really do is just try to help out in any way that you can. Tom Bystander, thank you so much for that super chat, my friend. I really appreciate that. Tom's always here in the live chat, always commenting on all of my videos. He's just really good guy. In fact, we were talking earlier today as well. He had a few questions for me. And Polish Rob, what is going on, my man? Looks like he finished up that PokeCast with Rhyme Style. If you guys haven't caught that, he interviewed Rhyme Style for the second time today over on his PokeCast. So when we finish here tonight, be sure to go ahead and check out Polish Rob. I'm sure he'll have that replay up on his channel with Rhyme Style. I'm sure they went through a lot of good stuff here today that you're not going to want to miss. But Rob, thank you so much for that super chat, my friend. It says that costume deserves respect. Well, the respect is the fact that I still fit into this, and the fact that I had to get a children's extra large in order to get into it. I think that's where the respect is due. All right, let's see what other questions we've got here. Yeah, a lot of people saying that second box was a beauty, and I agree with you guys that that is probably one of the most pristine first edition base set boxes I've ever seen. Unfortunately, I've never been able to hold one in my hands. That is definitely on the bucket list, at the very least, to hold one in my hands. But just from what I've seen, definitely one of the most pristine boxes that is out there thus far. All right, let's see what we got here. And guys, again, I apologize if I don't get to everybody's questions. I try to do my best to get through those in the live chat. But if for any reason I don't get to your questions, feel free to send me an email. Feel free to go ahead and message me over on Instagram, and I'll do my best to get to your questions there. All right, let's see. I'm going to try to see if anyone has any questions for today's topic. All right, let's see. All right, Carbon Derek, PokéNav, I just received a complete unlimited Team Rocket set in the mail. How can I be sure the cards are real? Just looking at them, visual inspection so far, all looks legit. So the best thing that you can do, in my opinion, I mean, there's various things that you can look at in individual cards. The text is one. You want to make sure that the text looks good. You also want to see, just the actual art itself. Very often, these fake cards will have almost a washed out look to them, or they will be overly saturated. And that just comes from the reprinting process itself. They can never get an exact copy of an actual card. They can get pretty close. They can get pretty close to the original card, but it can't be an exact copy. Sometimes that text will be slightly embossed because the reprint won't line up exactly. And very often the biggest thing is going to be just the artwork itself. It's going to look a little washed out. It's going to look a little oversaturated. But what I do is I'll take legitimate cards. If I've got those on hand, I'm going to take legitimate cards and I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison of them. And a lot of the time I'll do it under a microscope, just to try to find any imperfections, any details in there that may stand out. So that's really the main thing when you're looking at individual cards. Try to have something that you can reference alongside it, and then that way you can see if there's anything that sticks out to you that looks strange. Other than that, with the individual cards, there's another test that you can do. The first one that you can do that is much safer is what they call the light test. And I've actually got a whole video that goes into everything that I look at when I'm trying to determine if a card is fake. So you guys can just search PokéNav, fake cards, something to that extent. You should be able to find it. But another test you can do is a light test, where you can put like a high-powered light, like maybe some of the lights that I've got here in the studio. Put that light behind the card. Now, these fake cards are so thin. A real Pokemon card will have, it's essentially 3 layers. There's the front layer, the back layer, and then there's cardstock, a black cardstock in the middle. Fake cards do not have that, at least from what I've seen. So when you put that up to a powerful light, that light is going to shine through. When you're putting it up with a real Pokemon card, it's not going to come through. That black stock in the middle will prevent that. So that's another test that you can utilize to try to determine if it is fake. And then the last test, if all else fails, especially if you got like a full lot. Now, if it's, you can take your chances on maybe the energies. If you happen to get energies in a set, if somebody's giving you a whole set, like in this case, if there's energies in there, sacrifice one of those energies and go ahead and rip the card. When you rip it open, again, you will see that black middle stock in the middle of the card. And if it's real, if it's fake, you're not going to see anything in there. And that's the feel of the card should also be an indication as well. And then with holo cards, you can usually tell in the holo pattern itself. Again, whether you go online or whether you have cards that you can use as a reference that you can have in person, those holo patterns are also going to be off from the originals. So those are all things that you can look at for individual cards. And that's a really good question, my friend. I knew that one was going to come up, so I'm glad that I could go ahead and answer that. So hopefully that helps out a lot of people, and especially if you are new to the hobby. So Joaquin with Pokemon makes a good point here. He says, do the community a favor and mark your empty boxes before you sell them. I think that's a fantastic idea, guys. Now, I'm not necessarily a proponent in the first place of reselling empty boxes, because it does just propagate the ability for scammers to utilize those and to put fake products in them. But that's a way that you can also prevent that if you just mark on the inside of the box. You don't have to mark on the outside. You don't have to, even if you do want to sell it, you don't have to diminish the appearance of the outside of the box. But at the very least, maybe just make an indication on the inside of the box, especially if it was to be resealed. If they do that, what they call the press test, if they press that down, you might be able to see that, that marking on the inside, and that will be a clear indication that that box is fake. But anything that we can do, as a community, anything that we can do in the long run to try to prevent scammers is going to pay dividends to everybody in the community. It's going to pay dividends to everyone. So, even though it may not seem like it now, if you've got those type of products and you plan on, reselling them, do the community a favor and just pay your due diligence up front. All right, let's see here. Let's see what else we got going on. So Polish Rob says, second box was originally owned by Charizard King. He has quality product. I'm not familiar with him, but if Rob gives him the thumbs up, then he's okay with me. All right, let's see. So Energy says, Nav, do you think the holo from Evolutions, Magneton, Mew, etc., worth investing? Well, especially right now, I don't think you can go wrong with evolutions. Obviously, the big chase cards and the ones that, most people are going to be investing in are the Charizards. That's, obvious. But there's a lot of other good cards in there as well. And, like I showed off this last week, I was able to pick up some more Evolutions booster boxes. And if you guys plan on opening those up, I think now is a good time. If you get some hollows out of there, it should be 12 hollows in there. Might be a good time to go ahead and get those graded. Because guys, think about it. The further on down the line we go, the further into the future we go, all of these older products are just going to become less and less attainable. The base set, no matter which version you get, is just not going to be available to the average population. So people are going to want the next best thing, and that's going to be evolutions. I'm telling you right now, that is going to be evolutions, and they're still going to want those cards. They're still going to want those magnetons. They're still going to want those Mews. They're still going to want all of the other hollows, or even perhaps non-hollows that are in evolutions, because they're just not attainable for them in base set. And even if you're trying to buy individual cards, again, it's just going to be really, really difficult. So I think that evolutions, unless, for some wild reason, they just decide to go ahead and reprint evolutions once again, which you guys know my sentiment on that. I don't think there's any chance of seeing a reprint for evolutions. I've got a ton of reasons why I think that. But that's going to be the next best option for everyone. So I think if you're going to do it, now is probably a good time, because you can still pick up a lot of these hollows from evolutions, or even non-hollows, for a really good price. So I would say if you're going to do it, now would probably be the best time. Robert Lynn, thank you for that super chat. Really appreciate that, my friend. It says, love your channel. Are you dressing up tomorrow for Halloween? Yes, I am, and I'm not wearing the Ash Ketchum outfit tomorrow. So my wife and I, one of my favorite shows of all time, right behind Pokemon, is The X-Files. So I'm dressing up as Agent Fox Mulder. My wife is dressing up as Agent Dana Scully. And then our daughter is going to be a little alien. So you guys can look forward to that. I'm going to post it tomorrow on Instagram before we go out, do trick-or-treating, all that good stuff. So keep an eye out on my Instagram. I'll have a photo up there. And one of the things, honestly, that I would love to include in the studio, and I know it's not Pokemon, but I really want to get the I Want to Believe poster from X-Files. That's just so iconic to me, along with, various different things that I collect with Pokemon. That's definitely on my list of one of the things that I want to get. And if I could get it signed by David Duchovny or Gillian Anderson, that would just be a dream to me. That would be right up there with, the first edition base set Charizard for me personally, as from a collecting standpoint. So, yeah, you guys can expect Agent Dana Scully and Fox Mulder to be showing up tomorrow night. Jamie Chris, VA, saying, bro, I love the drip. Thanks. You can thank my wife for it. You can thank my wife. She's the one that's always decorating. All right, let's see what we got here. So, why Jonathan? Says, PokéNav, I saw that you think vintage theme deck prices will rise. What are your thoughts with trying to find real ones instead of resealed fake on eBay? Yeah, with the theme decks, again, this is one of the reasons why I think there's got to be some kind of marking. If you've got a theme deck, you open it up, and let's say you take the cards out, you grade the cards in it. There's got to be some kind of marking if you decide to resell that, because with theme decks, that's going to be even more difficult to try to determine. Because with the theme decks, with vintage booster boxes, for instance, you had on the cellophane wrap, you had the Wizards of the Coast stamp on there. Now, the only set that didn't have that was was first edition base set. That was the only set that didn't have the Wizards of the Coast stamp. For theme decks, they don't have that Wizards of the Coast stamp. So it's almost like you're buying into various first edition base set. You're taking the same risk, I should say, with these theme decks to try to determine if they're legit. So those are going to be really tough, to try to determine. But again, the best thing is, one, to try to have a comparison. Try to have a reference that you can utilize whenever you're trying to buy product. Whether you've got one in person or whether you go online, look at legitimate products. The other thing that you want to look at, and we learned this through this last transaction, was you want to see the chain of ownership. Preferably, you want to inquire a little bit about the chain of ownership of these products. That's I think, to me, that's where they really faltered with that first box, is that the story just didn't add up. I don't know from which end it was coming from that it wasn't adding up, but the story just didn't add up. So that's another thing that you can do, especially if you're buying in person. Try to figure out the chain of ownership on various products. And there was a question earlier that I want to get to, is somebody was asking, let me see who it was. Oh, it was Tongan Wilson was asking some of the features for a Shadowless theme deck. How to determine if a theme deck, a base set theme deck, is Shadowless. So there's a couple things on there, a couple different features. One, there's different variants of this theme deck. So one will have like a gold tab across the top of the box. That's one indication that theme deck is Shadowless. Another one that I'm aware of is on the back of the box. With the theme decks, it always showed 3 cards. So it would usually have, the holo, the rare in the middle. With the Shadowless theme decks, that card is behind the other 2 cards on the left and the right side. So that card in the middle is behind it. So that would indicate a Shadowless deck. In the other decks, it was moved to the front. Now, it's probably just a mistake that was uncovered by Wizards of the Coast, so they moved it to the front of the booster box, of the other 2 cards. And then the other thing that you can look at is on the back of the box, when it's going through the contents of it, a Shadowless box will say damage counters, whereas a non-Shadowless box will say 10 damage counters. So those are really the 3 things that I know of personally that helps to indicate whether a box is Shadowless or whether it's basically shadowed. So hopefully that helps you out, Tongan Wilson. If you're in the process of potentially buying one, hopefully that information will help you out in your decision. All right. Jeremy Gray saying, I opened another Evolutions box the other day. I'm cray. Yeah, I can't say that I'm opening up any Evolutions booster boxes at this point. I am keeping them all sealed up. Don't have any intention of opening them at this point. But I do have quite a few. So I think maybe at some point, if I see, the prices starting to get to a point where I want to take the risk of opening up a box, then I'll probably go ahead and open up a few and, like I said, grade those cards. And if you guys already have, get those cards graded, get those holos graded, potentially even get the non-holos graded, because they're just going to go up, guys. They're just going to go up. We can't promise anything, but just from the way that the market is reacting and the way that I foresee it going, I just only see those cards continuing to go up in the future. All right, let's see. So Mr. Beard asks, any guess on what the Pokemon Company will do for the 25th anniversary? It's hard to think something better than Evolutions. Well, I'll tell you what, man, my hope for the 25th anniversary, and if you think about it, so 25th anniversary is going to come out in 2021. If I'm not mistaken, Neo Genesis came out in 2001. So that is exactly 20 years that they could celebrate the release of the Neo era. And I would absolutely love it if they reprinted the Neo series, maybe just took like a master set and just kind of picked out a lot of the best cards from, Neo Genesis, Neo Destiny, Neo Revelation, Neo Discovery. Just kind of picked all of the best cards out of there, even the commons and uncommons. Lots of beautiful cards throughout the whole Neo series. So that's really my hope at this point, is that if we do get a reprint, an Evolutions-esque type of set, that it will be a Neo reprint. But who knows? Who knows? Stranger things have happened, and Pokemon seems to be crazy right now. The Pokemon Company seems to be crazy right now. So who knows? We may very well see that. The one thing that we do know is that the 25th anniversary set, well, I take that back. We don't know for 100% certainty, but in all likelihood, the Shiny Star V set that Japan is releasing, that is more than likely our candidate for the 25th anniversary set that is coming out in February. And that is basically like Hidden Fates 2.0. So, that's something that you can get really excited about. Even if we don't get another Evolutions type of set, to have another Hidden Fates type of set, that's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. But like I said, we could get everything. With it being the 25th anniversary, that's a quarter of a century. That's a big milestone for a brand. So I could definitely foresee, them reprinting Neo and having that Shiny Star V set, and who knows what else. So thank you for that question, my friend. It's definitely something that's been on my mind lately. Robert Barraza, do you think Cosmic Eclipse box prices will continue to go up? I think that they'll go up steadily. It's a very modern set, so I think with that you can still run the risk of a potential reprint. Obviously, if they reprint it, that'll affect prices, but I think it'll continue to go up. I think really all Pokemon products are going to go up. It's just a matter of how much and how much time it will take to really see a measurable increase. But I think Cosmic Eclipse, it's a fun set. I think it'll continue to go up, but how much, can't really say at this point. So modern, and as I said, does have that risk of the potential reprint. All right, let's see. PokéNav, have you had a chance to see the Walgreens mystery boxes? They have been insane. I've heard great things for those mystery boxes. I've been hearing some crazy pulls out of there, like insane pull rates on vintage packs. That's just baffling to me. And of all places, they've had these mystery boxes at Walmart before. People have been buying those for years. And of all places, we've got one at Walgreens, and it seems to be the best one of all. So who knows? I might have to go snag a few myself. My luck is not that great, though. I'll be quite honest with you. My luck is not great. I like to take the luck out of the equation and just go strictly on like data and statistics, as boring as that is, because my luck is really not good. So maybe I'll leave the good luck to all of you guys. I'll leave those boxes for you because it'll probably just be a waste on me anyways. So, all right, let's see. Let's see what else we got going on in here. Mike N, do you think Diamond and Pearl era cards are a good investment? The PSA pops are very low for most cards and very affordable. Got 2007 Black Star promo, Infernape, Empoleon, and Totera, all PSA 9. Yeah, I mean, Diamond and Pearl has really seen a lot of growth, especially this year. And, it's still one of those sets, guys, that Diamond and Pearl era, EX era, that's starting to get up there now too. And I feel like at this point, if you're going to jump in, to those sets from those eras, now is probably the time, because they're just going to continue to go up. I mean, if you think about it, at some point, Wizards of the Coast, these booster boxes, especially for pretty much all Wizards of the Coast sets, are more than you're going to pay for a new car at this point. So you've driven quite a few people out of the market already. And that's only going to it's only going to become more pronounced as we go along. So you really have to start looking at basically the next best options after that. You have to start looking at sets that came further on down the line. So yeah, I would say Diamond and Pearl EX era, even moving into Black and White, even XY. If you're going to invest in those and you have the financial assets to do so, I think now is definitely the time, because they're not going to go down. They're not going to go down. They may level. That's the thing with markets. We'll have those high points, and it will level, and we may have a little bit of a downturn. But I truly don't think Pokemon I don't think you're going to see any type of like crash or anything like that. I mean, you think about it, guys. Collectibles are unique. They don't operate in exactly the same manner as other financial assets do, that are tied really to economic situations. I think that disposable income definitely has something to do with it, and the amount of money that is actually being put out there, and the amount of people that can afford these type of products definitely is tied to the economy and how well the economy is doing, unemployment rate, all those different things. But collectibles aren't going to operate in the same manner that you would see other financial assets in a downturn market, because there's always going to be people out there that can afford those. There's always going to be people that have the financial means to buy these expensive booster boxes. So again, very long tangent there. If you're going to invest in Diamond and Pearl EX, Black and White, I would say now is definitely the time, because I only foresee those continuing to go up. So, but thank you for that question, my friend. Really do appreciate that. Oh, Jay Beans saying Mewtwo is his favorite Pokemon. Cheers to that, sir. It's just water in here. Don't worry, guys. Ash Ketchum, way too young for anything, any of those adult beverages. But yeah, man, Mewtwo, my favorite Pokemon as well. Love Mewtwo. Love his backstory, everything about him. Just a fantastic Pokemon. Pokemon, the first movie, by far and away, my favorite Pokemon movie as well. Let's see. Oh, so we got one here. What do you think of the Vivid Voltage build and battle decks? I think, honestly, of all the build and battle decks this year, the Vivid Voltage is really my favorite by far. And Vivid Voltage, I'll be honest with you guys, it is turning out to be a really nice set. We just got the set list the other day, the full set list for Vivid Voltage, and it really looks great. I mean, as a whole, I like it a lot better than Champion's Path. I mean, I like the Charizards in Champion's Path, and I think that there's value there whenever you've got a Charizard, which we still have a Charizard in Vivid Voltage, but it's just a regular holo rare. But I think as an entire set, as a whole, I really like Vivid Voltage. I think that it's a much more complete set than what we saw in Champion's Path, and I would rank it above Darkness Ablaze. I was actually, up until this point, more of a fan of Darkness Ablaze. That was my favorite set released this year, but I think that Vivid Voltage as a whole probably has the best card list of all of them. But those build and battle decks are fantastic, in my opinion. So definitely something that you guys can look at, maybe holding on to. Buy one, hold one. Or excuse me, buy one, buy two, hold one, and then open one. I know you guys are thinking PokéNav make no sense, making no sense tonight. But yeah, that's always really my advice is if you're debating and you got the financial means to do so, buy two, hold one, and then open the other one. Enjoy the other one. That's what the hobby is really for, is to enjoy the product. So go ahead and open one, enjoy that, add it to your collection, or if you want, sell it, get it graded, but enjoy that aspect of opening the product itself. All right, let's see. Frank says, nice cosplay of Ash. Still not being a Pokemon master, has been at it for 20 years. Well, this is the funny thing. I don't think it's ever really been determined exactly what a Pokemon master is. If somebody knows, if you can give me a complete dictionary definition of what a Pokemon master is, I would really appreciate that, because it's always kind of been this title that it doesn't really have like a true meaning to it. You know, there's not like, oh, you become a Pokemon master when you've done this. So if you guys know, go ahead and let me know in the chat. Give me your best definition of what a Pokemon master actually is. Yeah, I'd be really interested to hear your opinions on that. All right, let's see. Yeah, J Bean saying Vivid Voltage is good, but save your money for the anniversary. Yeah, I mean, if you're deciding between the two, that 25th anniversary set, guys, I think that's going to be a really, really awesome set. Really awesome set. So if you're determining, trying to decide between the two, I would say that 25th anniversary is definitely the way to go. All right, I'm going to try to make sure I get to everyone's questions here. So Ian DC, what's up, PokeNav? I grew up with second gen Pokemon with the games and the cards. Do you think they are on the come up? I still have the Typhlosion EX from Unseen Forces and thinking about grading it. I love that card. Typhlosion's a great Pokemon. You know, one of my goals, one of my collecting goals is that T17 Typhlosion, and I'm blanking on the exact Neo set that it comes from. But that's a great card as well. Love that card. And, you know, with Neo, man, I tell you, of all the Watsi sets, guys, I feel like those Neo sets are probably the most underrated sets out there. And I know they still go for a lot of money, but I mean, when you compare those to base set and, you know, Jungle, Fossil, Team Rocket, I mean, those sets are great in their own right. But Neo was just a step above, in my opinion. It was just a step above the rest. And I just haven't seen that same kind of artwork since. So I truly believe that you're only going to see Neo era cards continue to go up. Just continue to skyrocket, because, you know, that is, you know, I mean, for me, I grew up Gen 1. You know, I was there Gen 1. But there is a lot of people that came directly after us that started with Gen 2. And that was really right before kind of the big low point for Pokemon. For about 10 years, that low point. That Gen 2, in my opinion, was the last really great generation that I feel like I'm talking about like the World War II, the greatest generation. But I feel like that was the last big generation for Pokemon, and I only foresee those cards continuing to go up. So I appreciate that question, Ian. Thanks for joining in, buddy. All right, let's see. Try to get to some other people's questions here. So Mike Steve saying, I didn't realize it for the longest time, but this whole time I had an XY Evolutions Holo Charizard and Reverse Holo Charizard. I already sent the Holo to PSA, and I feel like it's a strong 10. Well, man, I really wish you the best of luck on that. Really wish you the best of luck. Those cards are going for crazy money right now. In fact, let's go ahead and just take a look at what these Charizards are going for. I'm going to go on to eBay and just see what they are going for. Yeah, this is crazy. Just crazy. Let's go to sold and see what we got on here. I don't know if we're going to get... Here is GMA BGS 10. That can't be right. Oh, that's a pre-release. See if we can find some sold listings on here. I mean, these full art Charizards are going for good money as well. Let's go back to just those regular listings. People got them listed here. That's that reverse holo Charizard listed for $1,200. I mean, the prices have just absolutely skyrocketed. There's a holo 9, mint 9 Charizard. This is the holo 803. So yeah, these are going for crazy money at this point. And it's only going to continue, guys. I'm just telling you right now, these evolutions cards are just going to continue to go up, and yeah, it's just crazy at this point. And like I said, I knew that Evolutions was going to have its day. I knew that it was going to have its day, and it's having its day now. And I just only foresee these continuing to go up. But Polish Rob coming in with that super chat once again. Have to run. Great stuff as always. Catch you later, Rob. I will see you later, buddy. And just to give you guys a little bit of a heads up, I'm not going to give too much away, but Rob and I, we got a little something in the works coming down the pipeline for you guys. So be on the lookout for that. Be checking out on Rob's and my social media. And we got some things in the works that I think you guys are going to like. But I'll leave it at that because I don't want to give away too much for Rob. But Rob, have a good night, buddy. Appreciate you being here. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's see what other questions we got coming in. Yeah, he makes a good point here. Bailey Brad, the reason the Evolutions Charizard PSA 10 is going for so much is because the population is super low. 100 plus PSA 10s, but 3,000 PSA 9. So yeah, I mean, it's a good point. It's one thing that you guys definitely want to take a look at are population reports, especially really whatever card that you're investing. It's always a good idea to check on the population reports because you want to put your money in a place that it's, especially if you plan on churning that product, investing and then turning it at some point in the future. Low pop cards are great, and there's a lot of sleepers out there. There's a lot of sleeper low pop cards that people don't even realize, and that you guys can pick up for really good prices. So I recommend checking out the PSA pop reports, Beckett pop reports. You can check out CGC as well to see how many they've got going. I know CGC is very new, but you want to make sure that you're checking those data points because that'll help you in determining which cards are the best route to go and the best way to allocate your money, especially if you're new and your funds are limited. All right, let's see. And for all of you who are just joining in the live chat right now, thank you so much for being here tonight, guys. Happy early Halloween. Go ahead and do me a favor. We've got, 74 people in the chat right now. I'm only seeing 41 likes, though. So go ahead and help Ash catch him out. Help me become the Pokemon Master. And let's try to go ahead and get those likes. Let's try to get it over 100 if we can. If we can get another 30 or so people in that live chat, let's try to get over 100 likes tonight, but at least 70 likes. At least 70 likes for tonight, guys. I do appreciate it. All right, let's see. I want to see what other questions we got. So Benny Biohazard says, real talk, I don't think Evolutions is investable. There is so much product and so many more people holding it sealed or protected more so than Vintage ever was. Well, here's the thing that you got to keep in mind, Benny, because it is a valid sentiment because they did print a lot of Evolutions. But what a lot of people don't realize is that base set, if you look at it, there was as much, if not more, base set Jungle Fossil printed as there was Evolutions. Now, Evolutions statistically is the best-selling set of all time, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it was the highest printed set of all time. I don't know which one is. I don't know which set has the most prints of all time personally. But we can't just necessarily look at that. You have to also look at, there is this sentiment that people were just holding Evolutions, but there's also been a lot of people opening Evolutions. And even so, as I said, the more people that migrate from Watsi that aren't able to attain those products, there's going to be a lot of people out there that are wanting to get their hands on Evolutions. And especially if you think about new generations coming up, kids, if there's people that got back into the hobby around 2016 or just started into Pokemon, there's going to be another flood of people coming in. And on top of that, with all of these influencers bringing more and more people in, again, they're going to look at prices on Watsi products, not being familiar with where the market has been, and they're going to cringe, and they're going to say, well, I really want to get the nostalgia of those cards I had as a kid, but I can't put down, for an unlimited booster box, $50,000 or whatever it's at now. And they're going to turn, in my opinion, to evolutions. So, how many people are holding on to it? I don't know. How many people have opened it? I know there's a lot that have opened these evolutions products. And, these are products that are not going to be reprinted, guys. I mean, you can, if they do in fact reprint it, I'll take my 30 lashings at that point. I'll take it. But I truly do not think you are going to see reprints on this. I was talking, just this last week with one of the guys at the local card shop that I buy products from. And he told me straight up that from his distributor, he cannot get Evolutions booster boxes unless he buys cases of other products, and then they will allocate him a couple Evolutions booster boxes. So that tells me that down that supply chain from Pokemon to distributors to card shops, this is a very limited product now, and that they are not getting near the amount that they used to. You see the Kanto Power collections, this is just stock. This is leftover stock of individual packs that they have that they're putting out there. Now, I could be wrong, guys. Could be wrong about all of this. There is a certain degree of speculation in there. And we'll just have to wait and see. In the end, you just have to wait and see. And with this hobby, the main thing is you just want to try to be knowledgeable. You want to look at all of these factors. And that's what I really try to do when it comes to evolutions. I've looked at all these different factors that to me indicate that it's a set that has long-term investment value. Now, if it transpires that way, it's to be seen. But those are the things that you have to do. I mean, you think about it back in 1999. Who would have thought that base set, first edition base set, would be going for $375,000? Nobody saw that. Nobody. Our parents told us that this hobby was just going to be a fad, and here we are 20 years later. And, that's the case. So we'll just have to wait and see. But to me, these are all the factors that I take into consideration. And to me, this is why I've got a long-term investment approach to evolutions. But I appreciate your sentiment as well. It very well could be the case. Never know. All right, guys, let's see what else we got going on here. Might go a little bit longer tonight. Got a lot of good questions coming in. Let's see what we got. Hollow Bleed says, hey, PokéNav, if my Evo Charizard, I think it'll grade an 8 based on off-center and hollow print lines. Is it better to sell raw or still grade? Well, let's take a look. Let's see if we can find any 8 Charizards and see what they are going for. Well, there's one listed here and let me see. I didn't quite catch. I think you said it was hollow. But yeah, I mean, these are even in a PSA 8. Look at the prices that these are going for, guys. No guarantee that they'll sell at that. Let's see if any have sold. Here's one right here. $235.50. PSA 8. 320. Yeah. I think that should answer your question, my friend. Yes, I would say definitely go ahead and get that card graded. And that's the thing, guys, and when you go further back into Watsi, it's even more pronounced. There's a lot of cards out there, and there's a video you guys can watch where I break it down, and there's like 4 tiers that I'll place cards in to determine if I should have them graded. So, you go back like tier 1, for instance. This is like grade these cards no matter what condition they're in. So this is like, the high-end trophy cards, first edition base set Charizard. Even if you think it's going to come back a PSA 1, get those cards graded. But in this case, look what's going on the open market. See what these cards are selling for in your predicted condition. So if you think it's around that near mint status, PSA 7, PSA 8, look what those cards are going for on the open market, and then weigh the costs to have that card graded. So if you send it in, I always tout graded gem. I think they're a great resource to use. And even if you're sending one card into them, I think it's $13.99. So you got $13.99. Maybe you calculate in the shipping. If that card's going for $230 on the open market, it's still a really good profit margin. And then that's notwithstanding that you can hold on to the card for a period of time and let it appreciate. So I think that, yeah, definitely, man, I would go ahead and get that card graded. Get it graded, and especially if you think it's right around that near mint status, because I think it still has a good profit margin potential on it. But I appreciate that question, my man. Thank you so much. Hey, Mini-Me Mole, thank you so much for that super chat. Hey, boss, just ordered 2 Champions Path trainer boxes. Is the pin collection box worth it, or just get the packs separate? Also, what other product do you recommend besides XY? AZ represent, much love. Well, really glad to hear that you got the Elite Trainer boxes. The pin collection boxes, I think those are definitely in more supply than the ETBs. ETBs are always going to go fast. With any set, it seems like the ETBs, especially with a holiday set like Champions Path, those ETBs go quickly. So, those would be my first choice. Get the ETBs. With the pin collection boxes, again, I think if you've got the financial assets to do so, buy one and hold it. Buy one and crack it open. See what you can get. See if you got, you have the potential of maybe pulling some of those chase cards. I'm not sure what the pull rates are on the pin collection boxes. Maybe the rest of you in the chat can give us a heads up on what you've seen the pull rates for the pin collection boxes be. But that's just my sentiment on it. I think that, they're cool. They really are cool. I really like the pin collection boxes aesthetically, for Champions Path. But long-term value, I'm not too sure. Looking at older pin collection boxes, they've appreciated in value. You go back to like, Sun and Moon, XY, even Black and White, they do appreciate over time, but not nearly as much as the ETBs do. What other products do I recommend besides XY? So for modern products, I personally am a big fan of Generations. I think that Generations, again, it was a commemorative set for the 20th anniversary, and you're really starting to see that jump in value now for Generations, which I think the same thing for the 25th anniversary next year. You're going to see that same kind of progression. And that's something that I always look at. I try to look at products that are unique, commemorative, that are maybe come out around a special event, because those are the things that collectors down the line really like. They like those commemorative type of items, milestone items. So I think Generations is definitely in there. Another set that I've seen on the rise lately, and I know it's XY, but Ancient Origins booster boxes have really increased in price. You've got the Primal Groudon in there, you've got the Primal Kyogre, which I believe those are in full art forms. That's really been doing well. Burning Shadows, and I'm speaking mainly of like modern, ultra modern sets. Burning Shadows, I think, is another great set. Obviously, Hidden Fates. If we do get those reprinted ETBs in January, that might be another good one as well to try to pick up. I don't know how allocated those are going to be, but that would probably be, another good option, obviously, over the long term. And then, going back, Call of Legends, That's a great set. Call of Legends, I think, would be a fantastic set to invest in right now. I know it's starting to climb up there in price as well. Call of Legends, Shining Legends, another great set. I've got the super premium collection boxes. You know, I just did a video on the products that have surprised me the most this year. That was one of them. Bought this at the beginning of the year for $80 from Pokemon Center, and now it's like $230. I imagine probably by the end of the year it'll be over $250. So that's a really nice growth rate over the course of a year. So those are just some of the other things that I would look at as far as, you know, modern, ultra modern sets go. And I know a lot of people out there really want to know about modern and ultra modern because they're sets that are actually attainable for them. You know, they're at a price point that most people can actually afford. But the one thing that I want to, you know, make sure that you guys realize is that if we do have a downturn in the market, which I'm sure we will at some point, you know, every market has downturns, modern and ultra modern, they're going to be the first ones that get affected the most. You know, old Watsi, even, EX, Diamond and Pearl, those sets are more established. They will be able to weather that storm a lot more. So that's just something you got to keep in mind. You know, if you're investing predominantly in modern and ultra modern, kind of like growth stocks in a way, kind of like the growth stock of the Pokemon TCG world. So just something to keep in mind there. You know, I think those are all great sets, but you know, they probably will have more of a downturn than a lot of the other vintage products. But Mini Me Mole, appreciate that super chat. Appreciate that question, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. Sackart says, hey, PokéNav, I have a Dark Charizard Holo, but not first edition, maybe PSA 3. Do you think I should get it graded? Let's see, my man. Let's see. Let's go Team Rocket. I don't know if we'll get a Charizard. I don't know if we'll get a PSA 3. We'll see. Oh, there's a Japanese one. Let me go ahead and pull you guys in here real quick. So actually, here's a Japanese Team Rocket Charizard, a Holo, PSA 3, $109. It was or best offer, so I'm not sure exactly what the sale price was. PSA 3, $60. Here we go. Here's another PSA 3, $50. So yeah, I mean, you know, with these guys, you know, you just have to decide, like, you know, where is here's another PSA 3, $90. You just have to kind of consider what your profit margins are. Like, what are your requirements for your profit margin? You know, there's, you know, even a guy like TCA Gaming, Rusty, he'll still sell like 99-cent cards. He just sells them in bulk out on the open market. And you can do that as well. You know, you can make money doing that. So, you know, your profit margins don't always have to be hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars. You know, if you can find a way to build up capital by, you know, maybe 99 cents, you know, selling 99-cent cards, selling bulk, selling, you know, maybe having profit margins $10, $20, $30, you can do that as well. So, I mean, you can see there, you know, going out on eBay, those cards going for about, you know, about $50 or so in a PSA 3. So, you know, take into consideration grading costs, take into consideration shipping costs, all those extraneous different factors, and then calculate what your profit margin will be, and you know, just decide if it's the right deal for you. If that's your goal, you know, if your goal is to try to churn that product, might be one to hold on to for the long term. You know, because as you go down the line, PSA 10s, 9s, 8s, 7s, 6 may become too expensive at some point. So people might just go for those PSA 3s and may go for even more money at some point. So hopefully that helps you out, my friend. I do appreciate that question. All right, guys, I'll tell you what. So I'm going to keep going until we hit 70 likes. All right? I'm going to keep going until we hit 70 likes. We got almost 100 people in the chat now. So do me a favor. Go ahead and hit that like button. Actually, I take that back. I want you to double slap that like button. One for the like button. If you're not subscribed already, give one to that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified whenever these lives go up, then you better go ahead and thunder punch that notification bell so that you don't miss them. And that's really what I have to say about that. That's really what I want you to do. I don't want you to just hit that like button. You got to double slap. All right, let's see here. Oh, we're gonna hit 70 likes. Well, I need to start getting to questions then. All right, no more messing around. All right, let's see. Try to get through a few of these really good questions here. Question for PokéNav. Curious what your thoughts on investing in gold and silver are. Gold and silver is actually something that I've really been looking at lately. I've got a little bit as part of my overall portfolio, but I've been looking more and more into it lately, becoming more and more enticing. Not too long ago, gold hit its highest ever. It was about $2,000 an ounce. It's gone down since then. Typically you'll see that there's like an inverse relationship between gold, silver, and then, or really precious metals in general, with the stock market. Stock market's doing really well. Usually prices, gold, silver, precious metals will be down. Stock market's down, it goes back up. People basically want to hedge against whatever their other assets are. And realistically, guys, you can look at collectibles, you can look at Pokemon cards as a hedge as well, against your other assets. I certainly do. It's one of the reasons that I started investing in Pokemon cards was because it is a hedge against other financial assets, especially those that are tied more closely to economic changes. So again, gold and silver, I think it should be a part of your overall portfolio. It shouldn't be your only part, but it should be a egg in that overall basket. So hopefully that helps you out, my man. All right, let's see here. Yeah, of course, Jules. Yeah, Jules is the man with silver and gold. His even have action figures on them. That's real gold and silver. CGC grading, Liz. Yeah, I think I did a whole video on CGC here a couple months ago, doing a side-by-side comparison of them with PSA and Beckett, and I think they're definitely a viable option. And I think as we go along, I think you're going to see more and more people going with CGC. It's their prices are very competitive. Their turnaround times, at least last I checked, were faster than going directly through PSA or Beckett. So that's a big bonus, because Beckett and PSA right now it's going on several months before you plan on getting your cards back. It's one of the reasons I recommend Graded Gem, a lot faster turnaround time with them. But I think CGC is definitely the sleeper in the big three. I think that you're going to start seeing more and more people go through CGC. And one thing that I might start doing now that we're starting to see more cards come out onto the market through CGC, I may actually do a video just kind of doing a comparative analysis between prices, kind of see what sold prices of the same cards in the same condition or very similar condition for CGC, PSA, and Beckett, to kind of see how CGC is measuring up as far as value goes. So yeah, thank you, Liz. Actually gave me an idea for another video. Let's see. Do you think Darkness Ablaze is underestimated? I wouldn't say that it's necessarily underestimated. I do a series on like undervalued cards. I don't necessarily think that it's underestimated. I mean, Darkness Ablaze, in my opinion, was a pretty good set. It had the Charizards in there as well. But I don't know. I think that like I said, up until we got the set list for Vivid Voltage, I did like Darkness Ablaze. It was one of my favorite sets of this year. And again, who knows where it'll be in 15 years, 10 years, 5 years. People may really look back fondly on that set and those Charizards as well. So hard to say at this point, just so new, these really new sets, it's hard to say. Definitely it's got the Charizards going for it. Definitely anytime you throw a Charizard in the set, that's going to increase its long-term value, in my opinion. And you've got two in there. So I think that that definitely bodes well for it over the long term. Andy May, PokéNav, what are your thoughts on black and white? Yeah, black and white. All I can say, if you've got the financial means to invest in it now. Black and white these sets are going to be the next Watsi. I'm telling you guys right now. EX, Diamond and Pearl, black and white, these are going to be the next Watsi sets. 10 years from now, 15 years from now, we will be talking about these sets in much the same way that we are talking about Watsi now. So if you guys have the means to do so, I would highly recommend investing in those sets wherever you can, because those are the next best options. If Watsi is out of the question for you, those are definitely the next best options from a financial perspective. All right, do you think single Japanese Watsi boosters are a good investment? I really you guys know I love Japanese product in general. I think the booster packs are a good investment as well. Think about it, guys. I mean, we talk so much about base set. Look at the cards for the Japanese base set. So undervalued in my opinion compared to the English version, and it's the exact same card. In all reality, it's the exact same card, and look at the prices on base set booster packs right now. I mean, even unlimited packs going for a lot of money, whereas you can get the Japanese version for half the price. In most cases, half the price. So yeah, I would definitely say those are some products that you definitely want to be on the lookout for. Let's see. Let me just get to a few more questions here. Let's see. What do you think about Darkness Ablaze in the full art Zard? Do you think it is hurt by the Champion's Path Hyper full art Charizard version, and possibly soon to come out shiny full art Zard, future of it? Yeah, it's probably going to hurt it in the short term, in its short-term value, but thinking a long-term, like I was talking about earlier, I think long-term value, it's not going to make a whole lot of difference. So I think Champion's Path and the shiny Zard, and especially if we've got one for Shiny Star V 25th anniversary set, those will trump the Darkness Ablaze set. But I think long-term value, I don't think they're going to affect it that tremendously, in my opinion. Rocco Jasparo, thank you so much for that super chat, my friend. Really appreciate that. Thanks for all the advice. Pick up any Kanto power boxes. I haven't picked any up yet. I'm actually waiting on a few of the card shops in my area to get them in. That's usually the way that I like to go personally. I just had a video on a local card shop that I featured. I usually like to support them whenever they get the new products in, whenever I can. So just waiting on them to get them in, and then I'll probably be snagging a few of those. All right, I am going to get to 2 more questions here, and then I'm going to let you guys off for the night. All right, Sean C., do you send cards in top loaders or card savers when sending them to graded gem? So what I would do, this is how I've always sent in cards. So you're going to put it in a penny sleeve, and then you're going to put it in the top loader. I've always used top loaders. And then I'll, however many cards I'm sending in, then I will put a rubber band around those, and then I will put those in the bubble wrap, and that's how I'll send them in. But with graded gem, you don't have to fill out any forms, anything like that. You just send them in, and they take care of everything for you. It's so easy compared to going directly through PSA. So I can't recommend graded gem enough, honestly, guys. And I don't have any affiliation with them. They're not gonna deal with little old PokéNav. I just think they're a great service, and the fact that they're now here in the States, I think, is awesome. All right, I will just. What do you think about that joke collectibles guru? All I can say about that is, hopefully all I can hope is that the guy is doing it for the right reasons. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily get that impression from him, but I'm not one to judge. All I can say is I hope that he's doing this for the right reasons. And, you know, I guess it will take care of itself. You know, that's what I've always said. Like, karma is something that always comes around, good or bad. It always comes around. And, you know, good people, I think, prosper, and bad people, nefarious people, they don't last very long. They don't last very long, especially in a hobby like this, where you've got so many good characters, so many good people, upstanding people that want to see the best for the community. I think somebody, you know, that does have some kind of nefarious purpose, I don't think they're going to be around for very long. So either way, to me, it always works itself out in the end. It always works its way out in the end. And, you know, the good people, the collectors, the investors, the people that love this hobby will always be around. Will always be around, no matter what happens. All of you good people out there, myself, we're all going to be here for the long term. So, all right, guys. So that is going to do it for tonight. Again, like I said, if I didn't answer your question, go ahead and send it to me in an email. Go ahead and send it to me in a direct message. I will do my best to answer those there. Other than that, guys, I wish you an awesome weekend. Have a great Halloween. I appreciate you guys so much for being here each and every week. And other than that, guys, I will see you all next time. Oh, one last thing I almost forgot. So I gave you a little hint earlier about something that Polish Rob and I got in the works. Just a little hint, just a little teaser. But I also want to fill you in, give you a little hint about a little project that myself, and yes, your main moderator here in the live chat, Collecting with Jules, my boy Jules, we also got a little something in the works. And all I'll say for tonight, is if you like these live chats, if you like these long form type of discussions, then you are really going to enjoy what Jules and I have coming for you down the pipeline. So be on the lookout, guys. Be on the lookout. Keep an eye on Jules' social media. Keep an eye on my social media. May even announce it in an upcoming video, but just keep an eye out. And I really think you guys are going to enjoy what we've got coming down the pipeline. All right, guys. Other than that, I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful, have a happy, and a safe Halloween. I will see you all next time. My name is PokéNav. I'm here to help you navigate the world of Pokemon one video at a time, and I will see you all in the next video.